Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. In this video I wanted to tell you about a music festival which I went to just about a month ago now, nearly a month ago, and it was Lollapalooza. And as I am living in Chile at the moment, that is where I saw this festival. Lollapalooza Chile happens, I think, pretty much every year, and this year the lineups looked amazing, so I definitely wanted to go. So I picked up a ticket back in, I think, November time, October maybe even, for the 19th and 20th of March, and it was amazing. It was incredible. So I'm going to tell you about all the artists that I managed to see, which ones I loved, which ones I didn't love as much, and just let you know about my experience as a whole. Side note, I really apologise if my voice is really weird. My nose is really blocked up. I've got such a bad cold. It's just turned into autumn here in Chile, and it's turned into winter. It's gone from the hottest summer ever to winter straight away. It's like raining, ridiculous, it's freezing. It's horrible, but I'm quite enjoying being inside in the warm whilst it's horrible out there. Okay, so the festival was across 2 days, the Saturday the 19th of March and the Sunday the 20th of March. And on the first day we arrived at the festival at about 4 o'clock, 3:30-ish time, which gave us enough time to kind of wander around and have a look before we went and saw the first act, which was a band I'd downloaded their album because I was going to see them. When I realised that they were going to be at Lollapalooza, I decided to download their debut self-titled album. This is Junk. I was really surprised at how much I loved their set. I really liked the album, but it wasn't an album which I loved enough to talk about on my channel. It wasn't an album which I listened to all the time. I liked quite a few of the songs, but I wasn't in love with it. However, when I saw them live, they put on such a great show. I really think their kind of music, which is quite alternative, kind of electronic, kind of, I don't really know how to describe it, lots of vocal, guitars, but also mixed with kind of electronic futuristic kind of sounds. I didn't think that it would lend itself to a live setting as well as it did. Honestly, I thought they were 10 times better live than they are on the album. My favourite song, Platoon, was the song that they opened with, and I absolutely loved it. Their sound live was just perfect. They had 2 great backing vocalists as well, and they were also doing like some percussion stuff, and it was just really awesome. I thought it was really cool. Another song, the song that you probably, if you know any of their songs, you might know, is called Busy Earning. Again, amazing. That song was really great live. Also a song called Julia as well, another favourite from the album. So good. Loved the whole of their set. Definitely glad. Second artist we saw was on a different stage, so we moved over and we saw Of Monsters and Men, which is a band who I'd obviously heard of but hadn't really listened to any of their music other than their most famous songs. Obviously I enjoyed the moments which I knew, and I really loved the songs that I knew, and I thought the crowd was really great, and I was surprised at how kind of energized and energetic the crowd were, and how many people knew all the lyrics. I was like, these people are singing in my language and I don't know any lyrics compared to all these Chileans. But I did enjoy the show, but it wasn't a standout moment, and I kind of do regret not listening to more of their stuff before, because I do like their sound of music. They are cool, they're kind of alternative-ish, and I think they're cool, so I kind of wish that before I'd gone I'd listened to a bit more of their stuff. But the songs I did know I really enjoyed, and they're definitely cool. Third artist I saw was probably one of my favourite moments from the whole weekend. Definitely a favourite artist of mine at the moment. This was Halsey, and I have been in love with Halsey ever since I kind of listened to her record Badlands. The first track I heard from her was New Americana, and it's probably her most successful song, but I downloaded her album at the end of last year, and I'm pretty obsessed with her record. I absolutely love her, and she was definitely one of my favourite moments from the weekend. She put on such a great show. I think she's so cool, and I love her songs. I also love what she says in interviews about the whole concept behind the Badlands album, and I thought she put on a great show. She was on stage like saying how many sound problems there were, but I honestly didn't notice. I thought the show she put on was great. Highlights were definitely New Americana, just because it was that song that everyone loved. Also Colours, which is her new single, again it was more of a big moment. From the record called Strange Love, which is probably my favourite from the album. Bit more upbeat, quite sassy song, I really love that. And also the track Hurricane, again, I loved it. I thought she put on an amazing show, and Badlands is a definite album to check out because I love it. It came close. I was thinking about putting it in my top 5 albums of 2015 video. Didn't make the cut, but still an album which I really, really love, and she put on a great show. The next act we saw was the penultimate act of Saturday, and this was the act Jack U, who before I had not really known who they were. I knew that they were a DJ act, and then a couple of weeks before I went, someone told me it was Diplo and Skrillex, and I was like, what? Like, honestly, two of the biggest DJs on the planet, the most successful, the most cool, the most fresh. I was like, wow, this is going to be so good. So I had really, really high expectations for Jack U, and they blew me away. I've seen... Who have I seen? I've seen a fair few of DJs lives. I've seen Calvin Harris. I've seen David Guetta, nearly forgot his name. And Jack U blew both of those artists out of the water. Like, I thought this set was perfect. Some things I have with DJs, I saw David Guetta at Wireless, and what would really piss me off was like, he'd play like one of his really famous songs, like Sia, Titanium, that he's on, and Nicki Minaj songs that he's on, or like pop songs that he's on that the whole crowd knows the lyrics to. He'd play them for literally like 20 seconds, and then he'd cut it, and then he'd go back into this EDM beat, which is good for like jumping and like getting into it, but it's not good for like standing and singing the lyrics, which I love to do. However, Jack U was so good at having kind of this mix of ups and downs of their set, where they'd have like these really heavy EDM beats that everyone could jump to and was really, really fun. But they'd also have moments where they'd play like a fair amount of pop songs. They played some of Rihanna's work, they played Beyonce, 7-Eleven, they played like quite a few pop songs interspersed between their more heavy EDM beats. So yeah, I was blown away by Jack U. I love Diplo just because of the stuff that I've listened to that he's worked on, and Skrillex has always been like a really kind of cool DJ that everyone's quite interested in, so I was really, really glad that I got to see those two live. I think I was really lucky, and I can't believe they came to Chile, of all places, so I was really, really happy with Jack U's set. And the fifth and final act that I saw on the Saturday was the one and only Eminem. Now, when I first got the lineup, that's the word. When I first got the lineup for this festival, Eminem was obviously the first artist on the top, and I was like, no way. No way is Eminem coming to Chile. Now, I had never been a huge fan of Eminem's music, if I'm honest with you. Obviously, there are a few songs, the most famous songs that I know and do really like, but I've never been into Eminem in the same way that I'm into Kanye West or like Kendrick Lamar. Eminem was never a rap artist who I really kind of fell in love with and listened to a lot. And similar to with Monsters and Men, I hadn't heard many of his songs before I went to the festival. However, different to Monsters and Men, that didn't really matter as much because every song was such a great moment. Every song I didn't need to know to really enjoy, because even the biggest fans, they can't rap along to Rap God, or they can't rap along in the same way that Eminem can. They can't keep up with that kind of rap style. So I wasn't feeling like, oh my god, I don't know any of the words and everyone around me knows them all. Like, I wasn't feeling like that, which was good. And I really, really loved it. I'm so happy I can say I've seen Eminem live, because he's not an artist who I would buy a ticket to go and see. Mainly because when he did like the Wembley shows a few years ago, or wherever he did, I think it was Wembley, they were like £400 a ticket by the time they were being sold on. It was ridiculously priced tickets, and I was like, when I saw that he was coming to Lollapalooza, I was like, wow, that is such an amazing artist to get to see. And not only get to see this artist, but all the other artists that I've talked about, I'm going to be talking about, I got, and the ticket was only £110, which I think, as someone from the UK, I think is really, really reasonable. Most festivals for 2 days are usually about £200 to £250. And to see Eminem, Halsey, Jack U, of Monsters and Men, and Jungle just on day one, I think that if you added up how much you'd pay for each ticket of each of their show, you'd be way over that already. So huge, huge, huge artist, Eminem, and I was so happy I got to see him. He put on an amazing show, and he's undeniably talented. I think he was amazing. The Saturday, we left the festival, it ended at about 11:30, and then on the Sunday we got there slightly early. I think we got there about 3 o'clock, and the first act we saw was another band who I hadn't really listened to any of their music. This is 21 Pilots. However, I was really, really, really surprised at how much I liked these guys. I didn't know what kind of music, I didn't know what to expect. I was really surprised at how interesting their production was, and like their flow whilst they were singing. I thought they were really cool. We didn't catch all of their set, but what I heard and what I saw, I really, really liked. The second artist we saw on the Sunday was, again, another artist whose album I downloaded once I knew that they were coming to the festival, just to prepare myself. This is Alabama Shakes, and as soon as I downloaded their record Sound and Colour, I knew that Alabama Shakes would be an act which I would really enjoy live. Brittany, who is the female vocalist of the band, is insane. She is incredible. Like, she must have one of the best voices in the game right now. She is so cool. Her songs are so good. I love the songs. The song that you most likely know is called Don't Wanna Fight. They performed at the Grammys. There's another song called I Miss You. That is such a brilliant song, and it was incredible live. And also Give Me All Your Love, I think it's called. Again, another amazing song. Yeah, loved Alabama Shakes. And they were one of those artists, sometimes at festivals it's like, we need to get in the middle, we need to get at the front, we need to get there early, blah 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 blah. It was kind of like that with Eminem and Halsey for me anyway. But with Alabama Shakes, it was more kind of, we were at the back, we were sat on the grass, and we were just listening to her voice, and it was such a nice moment. It was so hot. Obviously I'm in Chile, so it was very hot. I think it was about 30 or over 30 degrees. So it was so nice to just sit on the grass and kind of with the festival kind of vibes and listen to this Alabama Shakes record being performed live, because I think they did pretty much the whole of the record. And it was just so nice. I loved it. Definite standout moment from the weekend. Okay, the third act we saw was probably my favourite artist from the weekend, just because I am extremely biased and love this woman so much. This is Marina and The Diamonds, and when I saw her name on the lineup list, on the poster for the festival, it was her that made me buy the ticket, because although I've seen her 4 times now, although I'd seen her 3 times before, I was like, she is coming to Chile. That is a sign. I have to go and see her. Get me one of those tickets now. All these contradictions. she was phenomenal. I absolutely love her, and the crowd were the wildest crowd I've ever had at a Marina show. She's her first time in Chile, and I think all the Chilean diamonds were out to play. They were crazy. I was getting pushed so much. I was like, Jesus Christ, this is insane. Like, I've never been in a crowd like that at a Marina show. It's usually quite fun because her fans are all quite cool and fun. It was her final show of the Fruit era, which was bittersweet because I got to say I saw the last show, and also it was like, it really is coming to an end. It's been a year and it's been amazing. The songs are amazing, but it is the end now. A definite highlight of the weekend for me was Marina. She did kind of a shortened down version of her Neon Nature Tour set list. I think she did about 4 or 5 tracks from each of the albums, which is good enough for me. She played for just over an hour and I loved it.
When I was born to be a tortoise, I was born to walk alone. Forget about it. Sing with me. Forget about it. Forget about it. Here we go. Forget.
The fourth act, the penultimate act we saw was Mumford & Sons. Again, hadn't heard a lot of their music before, however, loved their set list. Obviously, I'd heard like their really famous songs, their singles that everyone knows. So when they came on, it was really like, yeah, this is great. Like, I really got into it. And the crowd again were wild. They were jumping. I thought they put on an amazing show. I'd been told by the people I went with, the other people from the UK living in Chile at the moment on this Gap Year project, that Mumford & Sons put on a great show because some of them had seen them live already. And I was kind of like, yeah, I think it would be cool, but I didn't think that they put on a great show, as they did. I was really enjoying the whole set, and they played for an hour and a half because they were one of the headline acts. So I was like, this is going to go really, really slowly if I don't know all the songs. But it actually flew by. I really enjoyed their set list, and although it's already been a month, I did tell myself that I'm going to listen to more Mumford & Sons because although I'm not a huge fan of that kind of music, I do really like some of their songs just because they make quite catchy songs. So yeah, really enjoyed Mumford & Sons. Definitely going to try and listen to more of them. And finally, the final act we saw of Sunday and of the whole weekend was Florence and The Machine.
And it goes away with the change. The water's turned from blue to red. It's the worst sky.
Was going to be headlining this festival, I downloaded How Big, How Blue, How Beautiful, which I've already spoken about on my channel in a video called Current Music Faves Updated, I think it's called. And I've already expressed my love for the How Big, How Blue, How Beautiful album, just because I think it's by far Florence's best work, and a couple of the songs on there, Queen of Peace, Various Storms and Saves, Ship to Wreck, they're like my 3 favourite Florence The Machine songs now. And Florence did not let me down, she put on an amazing show. With a Florence album as much as I am in love and was in love with How Big, How Blue, How Beautiful. So I loved every moment. I pretty much knew every word to every song she did because I'd been listening to all 3 of her records so much before the 20th of March actually came around. But highlights were definitely Queen of Peace, by far my favourite song she did live. Also Dog Days Are Over, which was the most kind of upbeat moment of the show. And also the title track from the new record, How Big, How Blue, How Beautiful, because her vocals on that song, Florence's vocals are incredible anyway, but on that song particularly, they were amazing. That's my review of Lollapalooza Chile 2016. It was such an amazing weekend. Definite highlights, Marina, Florence and Halsey, but also Eminem and Jack Hugh, Alabama Shakes, Jungle, all of them were amazing and definitely worth checking out if you haven't listened to any of their music. So yeah, that's the end of the video. Make sure to check out my last video, which was a compilation review of Kanye West record, Santiago record, and new Azealia Banks mixtape EP thing. Also my Rihanna review of Auntie and my Sia This Is Acting review as well. And yeah, give me a like if you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in my next one. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.
Sing it on stage, but I don't have to fucking tell you.